Hey y'all, welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans. I'm Liz.
I'm Carolyn.
And as you can see, we're at my place this week.
We're together.
We're together.
Where we haven't been for a couple weeks.
No, it's because,
we're busy
we're
people.
busy people.
And she's busy at different things than I am.
Yeah. It's
and then some of us are having some problems.
You're having some orthopedic issues
so
over
first
there.
one stemmed from wet grass. That was the ankle sprain.
Yes.
And then I did make it to the orthopedist this week. He took x-rays and we found that when the knee is flexed in a certain position, as in going up the stairs, that it's bone on bone. Now we think that the right leg had gotten overuse because of the left ankle sprain. He thought so too. I got a cortisone shot, and then on Friday, I increased the resistance on the exercycle.
With no recommendations, or you just were like,
well, because I was just freewheeling before. I put it on 1. This was not a large increase.
No, but it's still an increase.
I had gone from just spinning those pedals 24 minutes to doing 5 minutes on resistance. And the next day it was not happy, and I said, all right, I'll go back to just doing freewheeling. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. With saw stars, I thought it was going to fall off. So anyway, I now have
your big brace on.
My big brace on that has ratchets in it. And the cough is from allergies. Not to worry. And I will be, when I get home, I'll be sending the orthopedist a note saying, oh, by the way, we seem to have had a small reversal. What do you think we should do next? I remember him saying that physical therapy was next. They told me I had been doing leg lifts. I had been doing the freewheeling exercise. I was doing well. I had been to grocery shopping.
You said you went to two grocery
stores, yes. And then I put the bicycle on 1. I don't think I was I didn't think I was jumping up.
Apparently you were.
Apparently I was.
Because you showed up at my apartment with a walker.
Yes. Because I'm dangerous on crutches.
I know you are. You're not allowed on crutches.
You don't want me
I remember when you had your toe done and you were on crutches, and that was dangerous for you and society at large.
And that was many years ago. So anyway, I'm doing better. I can actually lift my leg up. Yes. Instead of lifting it with my clothes. So I have regressed a bit. It is better than it was yesterday.
Okay.
When I almost fell off the exercise from seeing stars. Yes, I'm not thrilled with the situation, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
We're supposed to be going down to see Ben's mom for Mother's Day, and I'd like to be off the walker.
Yeah.
I think that's possible.
Cane is doable.
It's just that it's hard to carry things with cane. So anyway, we'll see. I do think the cane, I hope I would be down to cane level by that time.
I hope so too.
So anyway, meanwhile, we're in Passover, aren't we?
Yes.
Is this in Pesach?
This is in Pesach.
And for those of you who celebrate Easter, today was Palm Sunday. And
Happy Holy Week.
Happy Holy Week, yes.
And we missed it, but Happy Eid al-Fitr.
Yes.
That was
2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, yes.
Yes. I'm hoping to be good enough to be able to sit in the choir stall and sing. I've already explained to the choir coordinator that I am not standing up, sitting back down, none of this stuff. I'm going to go perch myself on the chair, and that's it. So even if I'm doing Easter Vigil, they're going to have to let me get in there and situate myself beforehand. 100%. So anyway, so that's where we are. I have a feeling that by Thursday, I will be better and hopefully up to cane level. But maybe in self-defense, I just use a walker because I had to get down below to get my robe.
Or you ask someone for help.
I can can get outside on the driveway and in, pick up my robe, and then back up. I mean, you can do it on level ground.
You can.
So we'll see. Life is exciting.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I didn't tell you, I went to church for Palm Sunday today, and I was crucifer.
Really?
Yeah. I got to use the little cross because it's Red Sunday. So all the vestments were red, and the little cross is red. Which meant I fully held it, like, full height. But it was very funny because we got into the church, and I was, like, already warm, and it was chilly this morning. So I was like, I forgot how much work it was to
hold the
cross, sing all glory, laud, and honor, and make sure that you are not walking too fast for the congregation.
Right.
Yeah.
There was no way I was making it to church today.
No, which is fine.
Just hurt.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's good.
Yeah.
And so we have our choir music. I can practice at home.
Yes.
Which I will do. Anyway.
Yeah.
What's up?
So I have a finished sweater, but I think I have to make a modification to it.
Okay.
So this sweater, it's the Mondrian. I finally seamed it up and blocked it and tried it on.
And?
It's just slightly too small. Or too short.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yes. So, I pulled out the Ursa, which I really love.
Yes.
And if you hold them up at the shoulders, you'll see that it's like an inch. It's like an inch. Maybe a little bit. So, I think it actually... So, this isn't like... the bottom ribbing isn't a length determination. It's a stitch... Or it's a row definition. So, I'm debating just doing a 1.5.
Oh, absolutely.
So what I'm thinking...
Do you have the yarn?
I do. Is I pick it up at the row down here. Mind you, it is knit bottom up. So that's part of what I wanted to talk it over with you before I did it. It's knit bottom up. So I would be taking this out and I'll cut it. Or I don't even know that I have to cut it. I can just...
pick it up?
Yeah, pick it in...
From there.
Right, I was going to pick it up under here and then just knit essentially 1.5 of it down.
Might do 1 3/4.
1 3/4? Okay. So my question is...
Yes.
Should I keep it as a split hem or should I knit it in the round?
What makes you more comfortable?
I don't know. I think
it'll be faster in the round.
In the round, yes. But I also, there's something about this that just like, I don't know why, but I feel like a split hem on this could be kind of cute.
It's very cute.
The whole thing is really cute. I'm very pleased with it. This was a great move.
It's very cute. I think, if you
see how I feel when once I pick it all up.
But I would do 1 3/4.
Or this in 3/4,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
because I would do that. Yeah.
That plus 3/4.
So it's 8 rows. Instead of doing 12 rows, you would do 16 rows. Or not 16, 14.
No, I would do 16.
Okay. Yeah, because I did try it on. It looks cute. It is just at that awkward crop length where it's not cropped enough to be a crop, but it's also not long enough that it hits my waistband of my jeans reliably. So
and that's not good.
And that's not good.
I would add 3/4 of an inch.
So I realized earlier today that I had a sweater that I could like do this with, and I was like, oh, that was brilliant. So okay, that's a good plan. But I'm really pleased with it. It's really lovely.
It's really pretty.
What I did do was I did knit to the sleeve hems, and I did seam it all up and block it, and then I tried it on and determined that the sleeves were okay. I wanted to make sure before I put the hems on the cuffs, The cuffs
Okay.
on this, the hems
I
on the
thought you
sleeves.
finished the sleeve and then decided.
No, I wanted to hold off on the cuff.
Good.
To make sure to see how it all was falling.
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah, and again, because it's a drop sleeve, I end up being able to have essentially the correct sleeve or the sleeve as per pattern.
Good.
I did
the shoulder.
Yeah, I did end up going down, just as a clue for anyone else who wants to do this. I did go down 2 sizes. So I've been knitting the whole sweater on like a 10.5. I went down to a 9 for the cuffs because it brought it in a little bit more. I didn't really want to do any decreases right at the end because I didn't want a super balloony situation, but I did want a little bit, as you can kind of see on camera, a little bit of that taper. So yeah. So that is almost done. I will pick up and do that hem in the next few days, and then that will be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I've been working on, pretty much as I spoke about last week, is my Princess of Odds. This is yarn that I got that was in a sale bucket. And I got all that they had. I wish there had been one more skein.
Have you checked on Ravelry D-stashes?
No, I have not done well with matching dye lots in my history.
Well, could it be something like cuffs and hems and...
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Or a collar?
No. No.
Okay.
So what I've decided to do is I made my sleeve 3/4 length, so it's actually hitting about here.
Okay.
So both sleeves, which is one of the reasons why I do sleeves first. So I finished one sleeve. Got another sleeve hiding out here. And I have started my second sleeve. Here we go.
I was going to say, we can also modify this a little bit down, I think.
So I have done that much of the sleeve. I've got this much left to go. I know I will finish the skein I have. And then I've got a virgin skein to make up the rest. I know from this sleeve it takes a full skein plus this much. So I know I'm going to have yarn left over from the second sleeve. I have this for the body. You can see the body is just separated for the sleeves here. So it's not very long at the moment, but I've gotten that. This may be a bolero, is what I'm saying.
Would you wear a bolero?
I would. I like the color. So anyway, I have this much for the body, and then I will probably have about this much for the body. And I will see how long that makes it. But one, I will have finished it, which is good. It makes me smile. I mean, certainly with the Lurex or whatever
with the sparkles,
with the sparkle, I really do like it. And I think, like when we went to St. Thomas, something like this would have just been perfect any evening, because it's just got that smile thing going on. So my plan is to finish this sleeve this week, and then just go like house of fire on the body. So that's what that. So that's the Princess of Odds. I've also learned that when something orthopedic hurts, I don't knit as much. I'm just sitting there kind of trying to relax. So I don't knit quite as much. Anyway.
So I haven't been as good at my 100 days project to be working on it every day, but look at how much progress we have so far.
Let me see. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
So it's about halfway done, or it will be once I hit like the top of and meet
this is Diamond Head.
Yes.
Very cool.
That's diamond. That's up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So
Lovely.
I've been working away at that. I need to keep working away at that. And then I have been knitting other things, but you have other things to talk about?
Yes,
Good.
I do. So I spoken last week, now that we finished the Forsera. And you can do it so where the midriff and the body comes in, or you can do it where it's straight down, which is what I do with my second one. And just with the drawstring under the girls. And I wove in that I found when I was talking about it with you. I have started the instructions for the Nevertheless shawl, half pie shawl. So I thought I would do a knit along with spoken instructions here. So what I did was...
Well, do you want to also... You're also going to put the instructions in the doobly-doo?
Yeah, I'll
down below?
Talk it through, since we have Sarah who doesn't read instructions. So I made a garter tab, and these are size 7.5 needles, or 4.5 millimeters. Millimeters? 4.5. It's 4.5, whatever. I cast on 3, and then I garter stitch, so knit every row 10 rows. And at that point, I was up at this end on this side, so then I turned it 90 degrees, and I picked up 5 stitches along the side. I turned another 90 degrees and picked up 3 stitches, and that is my garter tab. So then I put stitch markers on after the first 3 stitches and before the last 3 stitches. That is your border, and that is going to remain a garter stitch border. Okay. Then I knit 3 plus 5 plus 3, so that's 11. The even rows are knit 3, purl across to the marker, knit 3. Every wrong side row. So that's what I did over here. And then on row 3, it's the first increase row, but rather than doing the yarn overs, I did knit front and back. So I knit 3, knit front and back 5 times. So it gives me 10 stitches in between the markers. So you knit front and back till you get to the next marker, knit 3. Turn around, and you're going to knit 3, purl across, knit 3. So then that's row 3. Row 5 is knit across. Row 6 is knit 3, purl across, knit 3. Row 7 is your first increase row that makes it look lacy. And so you knit 3, knit 1, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, and so you knit 1 and yarn over until you get to the marker. And that should give you 20 stitches in between your markers. So you have a total of 26. Okay? Your even row, 8, knit 3, purl across, knit 3. Row 9 is knit across. That's this section in here. Row 10, knit 3, purl across, knit 3. Row 11 is my second eyelet row. And so again, you knit 3, yarn over, no, knit 1, yarn over 10 times. I'm looking at this. No, 20 times. Because you're going to be, you have 20 stitches there. So you do it 20 times. Knit 1, yarn over 20 times to give you 40 stitches in between your 2 borders. Okay, so you end up with 46 stitches. And then we are going to rows 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. Those are your wrong side rows. They're going to be knit 3, purl across, knit 3. And you don't do another increase row until you get to row 21. That's this row right there. So your rows 13, 15, 17, and 19, it's just knit all the way across. And this is what you're going to end up with. Now, this is coming from the pie shawl that I frogged so that I could get the math right. And I started my increases to get the right number of stitches all the way down at the beginning rather than closer to the edge. So I don't have enough yarn to do my wrong side row in the gray. So I will be doing it in my second color, the red. And this is where next week we'll start the simplified Nevertheless lace. I don't like doing, well, first of all, I didn't want to incorporate the row 11 increase row with the yarn overs. And in fact, we're not going to do an increase row on row 21. We're going to stick with the same number of stitches until we finish the lace pattern, and then we will do our next increase row. So
row 21 is not an increase row?
It's not an increase row. We will take that out.
Oh, okay.
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 I will figure out next week what row number it is.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm just modifying them, adding spaces.
Yes.
We're going to do to row 20 then.
We are knitting, hold on. No, row 21 is an increase row. Sorry. Row 21. The next one, I had to see where that would come in.
So 22 is then a return row after an increase.
Right, and then we're going to start our lace.
And then 23
we're going to start
is
our
knit
lace.
across. So don't do 23. End on row 22.
End on row 22.
Okay.
Yep. Hope I haven't confused you all. This is what happens.
You will also see some written instructions
we have
down
written
below.
Instructions down
That's
below.
That's what I'm editing off to the side so that we don't screw this up.
Yes. Well, we would knit across anyway on row 23. We're just changing color.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to change color and start a lace pattern at the same time. I want to get your color firmly in place and then start the lace.
Okay.
So, but that will be in next week. So this is, as you can see, it's a half pie shawl.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I hope that's clear for those of you who don't read instructions. For those of you who do read instructions, the instructions are fine, I think. We'll read them through, but I believe they're fine. I was writing them down as I was doing this. What I do, and what I will do starting in the next section, is I will put a stitch marker on after every 20 stitches because the repeat and the nevertheless lace is every 20 stitches, and that way I can keep track. I found out that when I did row 21, I had actually forgotten one of the yarn overs.
Yeah.
But I go back and I count, which is why I give you the row
stitch count. After increases.
The stitch count of the row after the increases.
Right.
Right. So anyway, I think it'll be nice. So this is the next color. And then we have a gray. Then we have red again. And then this will be the border. So I'm looking forward to this.
You're making me want to go and stash dive and do this with you.
This is DK.
Yeah, I've got like some sport I could do.
This took me not long at all. I mean, obviously, as it gets longer, it will take more. But the beauty of this is you can do it in any weight yarn. It's going to take more yarn if you're working with fingering than if you're working with DK or whatever. But it's your shawl. You can do it whatever size you want. So the gray sections are going to be straight stockinette stitch. The colored sections are going to have some texture. And I won't tell you what the multicolored one will be just yet. So I'm excited about it. I will probably use it as a lap blanket since I don't wear mini shawls. I will tell you that when we went to St. Thomas, I probably could have used it. I would have worn my bolero and I would have used my shawl because the evenings in February got a little chilly. You know, it was a little nice. I did enjoy wearing the cardigan that I had, but this was good. The wink. I got so many compliments on that. It was excellent. So the slightly off-white, but little pops of little color in there went really well. So yes, the instructions for this will be down below in the comments so that you don't get lost. But I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. So other thing I've been working on is my Sticks Pullover by Mary Annarella, Lyrical Knits. I am
That is so
this
pretty.
far. Yeah. Yes, we will fully acknowledge that I was one of the test knitters in the fall. However, with dealing with grief and my grandmother's passing, I could not bring myself to do it. So, I am now doing it. And I'm really enjoying it. So,
Really pretty.
I have the second set of the Fisherman's Rib to do, and then it'll just be all navy blue. I did figure out that I think I'm on size 7 needles. Well, and if my swatch wasn't on size 7s, then oh well. But I did do a small swatch. I figured out, at least I did a little small swatch that was size 7s and size 6s. And I figured out that the swatch
Would be too tight.
that I did previously was probably on 7s because it matched.
Oh,
And
well,
I did
clue.
the math. So I'm not knitting my size. I'm knitting a smaller size, I believe. Which is like, no, yeah, I'm definitely knitting a smaller size because I'm knitting like the size 2 or something. Which is unheard of for me.
It's lucky that as knitters we can decide how much ease we want.
Yeah.
And that's important.
Yeah. So that.
Oh, I bought some fabric.
Oh, goodness, really?
I did to make that summer dress.
Okay.
I just can't stand to cut it out.
Oh.
Literally,
Yeah,
I
you
can't stand
Yeah.
to cut it out. It's on the dining room table. It's been washed. It's been dried.
Oh, goodness.
And I was hoping to get it done for Mother's Day.
Oh,
so
well.
I'm crossing my fingers. I should just fold it so I could do a little bit each day. I could fold it and lay the fabric out.
Yep.
The next day I could get some of the patterning out.
Yeah.
I could do it that way.
Good.
Because I got it when I had my ankle problem. And then I just segued right into the knee problem.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, phooey.
Yes, phooey. Phooey is the word for it.
But yeah. That's
What else?
you
That's
on the
me
floor.
on the floor.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm
I'm making all kinds of noises tonight that are making people go, what?
Well, I just like to know if my apartment's suddenly making a strange noise.
No, your mother's making strange noises in the
that
apartment.
that we are aware of.
Yes.
But yeah, other than that, that's kind of what I've been up to. I've been
I've
been reading a lot.
Next section of this. Oh, I've been reading every night.
I've got my new commute. It takes me an hour and 10 minutes to get to and from work on the train. And because it would be shorter driving there, but coming home, it's not always.
Right.
And it's just, I would rather know that it's going to take me an hour, and it always takes me an hour.
On the subway.
Yeah, I mean, a few weeks ago, or last week, there was one day where I literally took a 20-minute nap. I set an alarm on my phone, or on my watch, and I knew I had, 40 minutes left, and I had my arms around my bag. Does a nice little, and I just fell asleep.
You're good. I can't do that.
I was very tired.
Well, I haven't been tired since I've been doing these injuries to myself because we had been walking 2 miles a day, and it was helping my sleep. Now I remind myself that you should go to bed by 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, that's usually a good idea.
And then I get upstairs and I'm awake for a while, but eventually I fall asleep. So, yeah, I've been doing a lot of reading of junk science fiction.
Yeah, I'm reading not necessarily a junk science fiction right now, but a science fiction that I'm like, this is fine. It's not great, but it's also not terrible. So it's fine. And then I've got a few audiobooks going. I'm listening to the second memoir, or no, the first one was more of a biography written in the style of a memoir. It was a whole thing. And And then I have right now going is a memoir, which is quite interesting. Don't know. I'm always trying to get more nonfiction read, but
it has to hit me.
Yeah. One of them was a recommendation by a friend, and the other was a recommendation online, which I was like, you know what, let's try it.
Okay.
So yeah, and but it's the commute. The fact that I went from a 10-minute commute to an hour and 10 minutes is really changed
10
a
minutes
lot.
just to get up to Jackson?
Oh yeah. Oh. I mean, it was 10 minutes on the subway. The longest time was the wait for the subway, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
No, it's good use of time.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
But I have also been trying to bring my knitting with me, and work on that on the subway. The only problem with that is that I have been engrossed in an ebook recently. So I've found it's really easy to get through books if you just sit on the subway and read. And I'm like, oh.
Yes.
So that has been cutting into my knitting during my commute time. But that's okay too.
It is okay.
But yeah, those are things that we've been figuring out.
So next week, we'll do the second color.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have those directions written down, because obviously I don't explain it well verbally. I do my best. But I will have that set up. I think I have the picture. I think you all have seen it before.
Of the anticipated...
Yes. There we are.
Of end of step 2. So not this week, but next week's. There you go.
Look at there.
There you go.
So... that is what it will look like the end of next week. And that's about all I've got. I mean, it's Holy Week this week. I'm hoping to be able to sing.
Mm-hmm.
We're going up to my niece's house for Easter.
Yeah, I need to message her and find out.
You need to message her and find out times.
What we're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Should be a good week.
Really should.
Yes. Have a great week.
Yes, and we will talk to you all a bit later.
Yep.